Folks, hold on to your seats because what just happened with 3i Atlas has completely changed the game. In recent weeks, 3 devastating discoveries have exploded in our faces. China released orbital images showing something absolutely disturbing about Atlas. We discovered that there are other cometary objects being detected in the solar system, and we confirmed the 10th anomaly that may be the most important of all. We're talking about images showing impossible structures, acceleration that violates the laws of physics, and a metallic composition that only exists in terrestrial factories. December is going to be the most decisive moment in the history of modern astronomy. And I'm going to explain exactly why. We discovered the existence of comet C2025 V1 with perihelion scheduled for mid-November, which is showing brightness and behavior reminiscent of other recent discoveries. This object, referred to as a comparative comet in current nomenclature, creates a more complex observational scenario. The extraordinary discovery was made at the Margot Observatory, located on the Crimean Peninsula. This astronomical finding didn't go unnoticed by the international scientific community, being quickly confirmed in the following hours by a collaborative network of astronomers distributed across various countries including Russia, Japan, Austria, the Czech Republic, and Chile. Between October 2nd and 3rd, when Atlas passed by Mars at just 30 million kilometers, closer than Mars has ever come to Earth in all recorded history, Chinese orbiters captured something that should be physically impossible, converted into sequence. These images show an object with an intensely bluish appearance, bluer than any natural comet should be, bluer than objects that should be 20 times colder than the solar surface. And it doesn't stop there. There are visible lateral structures that completely defy our understanding of how interstellar visitors behave. For you to understand the magnitude of what we're seeing, cold objects don't glow blue. It's a fundamental law of thermodynamics. It's like taking an ice cube from the refrigerator and having it start glowing more intensely than an incandescent bulb. It simply shouldn't be possible. But here's the problem that's making the scientific community furious. These are low-resolution images. The high-resolution images from HiRISE, which could resolve this question once and for all, showing details of 30 centimeters on Atlas's surface, remain trapped in government bureaucracy. It's like having the key to the most important safe in human history and not being able to use it because of paperwork. It's like having the cure for cancer locked in a file because someone forgot to sign a form. Now let's get to the heart of the mystery, the 10th anomaly that may be the most devastating of all. Remember the mysterious acceleration we detected when Atlas passed through perihelion? The final numbers are absolutely devastating. For Atlas to accelerate this way through natural gas ejection, the famous rocket effect that all comets use, it would have to have lost colossal fractions of its mass. We're talking about more than 5.5 billion tons of material ejected in just 1 month. To put this in perspective, it's like evaporating an entire mountain the size of Mount Everest in a few weeks. This astronomical amount of gas would create a massive, bright, absolutely unmistakable cable cloud that would be visible throughout the solar system. It would be impossible not to detect with our telescopes. It would be like trying to hide a giant fireworks explosion in an open field in broad daylight. But this cloud doesn't exist. It's simply not there. It's as if someone had fired a giant rocket in space without visible fuel, without detectable exhaust, without any evidence of the process that should be creating the thrust. Basic physics is being violated before our eyes. Dr. Avi Loeb did the calculations using conservation of momentum, one of the most fundamental laws of the universe, and reached a disturbing conclusion. For this object to accelerate this way without showing the corresponding cloud of ejected material, we need to consider that the acceleration is coming from something that doesn't involve massive mass loss. And what could accelerate an object of 33 billion tons without ejecting detectable material? The answer is uncomfortable, some type of advanced propulsion system, or something that we still don't know. And now we come to the most disturbing discovery of all, Atlas's composition that defies everything we know about how objects form in space. Spectroscopic analysis revealed that Atlas has a nickel-to-iron ratio that is characteristic of metal alloys produced industrially here on Earth. I'm not exaggerating. This is literally the chemical signature of advanced metallurgical refining processes. For you to understand why this is so disturbing, In nature, nickel and iron are absolutely inseparable companions. They form together in the cores of massive stars during nucleosynthesis, travel together through the interstellar medium for billions of years, and condense together in the formation of planets, asteroids, and comets. The only known exception to this universal rule occurs in industrial nickel refining processes. We're talking about electrolysis, chemical separation at controlled temperatures, metallurgical refinement that requires advanced technology and massive energy. On Earth, separating nickel from iron like this requires entire factories, specialized furnaces, and complex chemical processes. In natural space, this simply doesn't happen. It's like finding a perfectly functional smartphone buried in geological layers from 100 million years ago. Technically, you can invent extremely elaborate natural explanations, but the simplest explanation is obvious. And there's more. Atlas is only 4% water by mass. Comets are known as dirty snowballs because they're typically 80–90% water ice. Atlas is drier than many deserts on Earth. It's like finding an iceberg that's 96% solid rock. But the list of impossibilities doesn't stop there. Atlas showed a completely unique light polarization pattern, an optical fingerprint that has never been seen in any known natural object. When sunlight hits Atlas and is reflected back, it shows extreme negative polarization that doesn't correspond to any known cometary material, including Comet Borisov, which we know to be completely natural. It's as if Atlas were twisting light in a way that known natural materials simply don't do. The only comparison we have are certain artificial materials with very specific crystalline structures, and we can't forget the absolutely suspicious timing of all this. Atlas arrived with surgical precision to pass near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter in a perfectly coordinated sequence, but remained completely invisible from Earth during the most critical moment, perihelion. The probability of this temporal sequence happening by chance is 0.05%, 5 in 100,000. It's like throwing 3 darts simultaneously and hitting 3 different targets while a fourth person turns their back at the exact moment. And there's more. Atlas came from the same direction as the famous WOW signal of 1977, that mysterious radio signal that many consider the best evidence of extraterrestrial communication ever detected. The directional precision is impressive, like 2 events separated by almost 50 years pointing to the same cosmic address. The 19th of December 2025. Mark this date because it could change human history forever. Atlas will make its closest approach to Earth at 167 million miles, and all the most powerful telescopes on the planet will be pointed at it. The James Webb Space Telescope, the most sensitive instrument ever built by humanity, Hubble and dozens of ground-based observatories will coordinate simultaneous observations. The test is devastatingly simple. If Atlas really lost 5.5 billion tons of material to create its mysterious acceleration, that cloud must be there. It's not optional. It's not uncertain. Physics demands that it exist. If Webb detects this massive cloud, we confirm that Atlas is the strangest comet ever discovered, but still a comet. Conventional science survives, even if it needs to be expanded to explain all the other anomalies. But if this cloud is not found, if Webb with all its extraordinary sensitivity cannot detect the billions of tons of gas that should be there, then we'll be looking at our first unequivocal evidence of extraterrestrial technology visiting our solar system.